The Ballon d'Or has always been flooded with controversy and heated debates about who deserves and especially who doesn't deserve to win. In the past, football journalists, managers and captains were all able to vote on who they thought was the greatest player of that calendar year. But this caused so many problems over the years that FIFA has decided to change the voting system for the player who deserves the award for the year under review. But unfortunately, this change came in only a few months ago, and a lot of people never got their hands on the most prestigious award in footballing history. Virgil van Dijk knows about this all too well. Let's be real, defenders are rarely mentioned in, well, any Ballon d'Or conversations. Because of course, the defenders aren't the big goal scorers and don't often appear in media headlines. In fact, only one defender has ever won the award, Mr. Fabio Cannavaro. I think we can all agree he definitely deserved it after his outstanding performance in the 2006 World Cup. He was the key to Italy raising the trophy. And pretty much since then, no defender even came close to entering the top positions. But that was until Virgil van Dijk burst onto the scene and took the world by storm. This giant with the smoothest hair anyone has ever seen had such a great performance back in 2019 that he was actually the favourite to win the Ballon d'Or. Yes, even over Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. He won the Champions League and led Liverpool's defence to the most clean sheets and the fewest goals conceded. He was just on another level that year. But unfortunately, the voters didn't think so and decided to go with Lionel Messi. Surprise, surprise. I'm sure even Van Dijk wasn't surprised that Messi took the award from him, and he's not the only one who got absolutely robbed by Messi. Remember Andres Iniesta? Can you believe he never won a Ballon d'Or? Iniesta was a football genius. He was one of the all-time greats at Barcelona. We all remember him for his amazing skills, his insane vision of the game, and of course, his lethal passes. For 9 consecutive years, he was named in the FIFA Pro World 11. Yes, you heard that right, 9 years. But apparently, 9 just wasn't enough for him to deserve the Ballon d'Or. And sure, there were some years when the arguments against Iniesta were quite valid. But there was one year, I can positively say everybody agreed Andres got robbed of the award. That year is 2010. Did Andres Iniesta have a great year? No. He had a fucking fantastic year. Not only did he play a major role in Barcelona winning La Liga, he also won the World Cup with Spain. But let's be real, for the Ballon d'Or you need to be the greatest. So sure, La Liga and the World Cup is great, but why did he, in particular, deserve the award? Well, without Iniesta, Spain would have never even won the World Cup. You see, it was a heated final between the Netherlands and Spain. It was still a 0-0 draw after 90 minutes, so after a quick break, they went into extra time. The first half of extra time, nothing. But then, with only 4 minutes on the clock, Iniesta came in and scored an absolute screamer and created one of the most memorable days in history for the Spanish. But sadly, once again, the voters thought this just wasn't enough. And of course, Lionel Messi won his second Ballon d'Or that year. It must be so hard to be such a dominant player, have the perfect year, and still see the awards you deserve go to someone else. Something Thierry Henry knows a lot about. Thierry Henry is one of the best strikers to ever kick a ball. He was one of the key players at Arsenal during the Invincibles era and was considered to be the best player in the Premier League for quite some time. He ended up winning the Golden Boot 4 times and was voted as the Premier League's Player of the Year twice. But for some reason unknown to mankind, Henry never ever won the Ballon d'Or. In 2003, he was one of the absolute favourites for the award, but unfortunately for him, Pavel Nedved took the award home that year. In 2006, he was even closer. You see, France was well on their way to winning the World Cup. It was the perfect timing for Henry. Winning the World Cup would have given him an edge over everyone else, and he was sure of it. That year, he was going to win the Golden Ball trophy. But one event during the final game messed it all up. I think we can all remember when, during a verbal altercation with Materazzi, Zidane lost his head and then planted it deep into Materazzi's chest. He was sent off immediately, and most people agree this incident is what ended up causing the French to lose out on a second star on their shirt. If it wasn't for that, maybe Thierry Henry could have won the World Cup and gotten himself a well-deserved Ballon d'Or. Another Frenchman who got painfully robbed was Mr. Franck Ribéry. You see, back in 2013, Ribéry had one of the greatest years of his career. He won the treble with Bayern Munich and ended up scoring 55 goals that year. With such a performance, Ribéry was thought of as the ultimate favourite to win the Ballon d'Or. But Ribéry lost the award to Messi's greatest rival, Cristiano Ronaldo. Ribéry was furious, and he made sure people knew it. "I won everything with the team and individually. Ronaldo won nothing. I feel I had earned this award. It's all politics," he told TZ newspaper in an interview. Obviously, this sparked up a lot of controversy and research into the Ballon d'Or. But eventually, most people kind of forgot about it. But guess what? Ribéry's feelings, just like his intense facial expression, never changed. 5 years later, in 2018, he said, "For me, it was like a robbery, an injustice. It doesn't look like Ribéry will ever be able to let this go. And to be honest, I get where he's coming from." A player that the world may never let go of is Wesley Sneijder. Perhaps the greatest Dutch midfielder of all time, Sneijder is probably the person on this list who got the closest to actually winning. You see, back in 2010, Sneijder was the man everyone was talking about. He was just that good. He led the Netherlands to a World Cup final and won the Champions League with Inter Milan. When the time came to vote for the Ballon d'Or, a vast majority of the journalists' votes actually went to Sneijder. He would have won easily. But sadly for him, that year is when the voting system switched from only journalists to managers and many more. And so, the award ended up going to, once again, Lionel Messi. And to be clear, I'm not saying Messi didn't deserve to win, but come on, man. To this day, people still argue about whether or not Sneijder deserved that award, but unfortunately for him, he won't ever be seeing his name engraved into the Golden Ball.